Hello, this is Aaron Blakely with Absolute Technology Solutions, and I'm going to cover in this video um, different content types and how to use the editor, both the visual, text, and then Cornerstone. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump over here into the dashboard. We're going to talk about different content types. We actually have several here: posts, portfolio, pages, and widget blocks. Now these all do different things on the website. Um, a page is a hierarchical piece of content, meaning that it can have kind of like an outline where you have headings and then you have subheadings underneath them. And this way you can actually manage pages and give them different URLs. Like here, sermons. If I were to take this contact page and move it up underneath sermons, and then view this page, I would actually see here I have sermons, but then if I come here to this one that is now underneath sermons and view it, I'll see that it says sermons contact, because sermons is now a parent page of contact. You can see that here in this kind of outline. I can collapse these and manage this hierarchically. Posts are different than that. Posts are chronological, meaning that they go in the order that they were published in. So here I can see I have a bunch of different posts, different post format, and they all just kind of fall in line in the day that they were published. Now, I imported a bunch of this content so you can see that some of them have different, have all the same date. You also see here there's a scheduled one. This one actually will publish in about 5 years. It will show up on the website. So you can even set pages to publish at a particular, or set posts to publish at a particular time. Now let me talk about the different editors and show you how all this kind of interacts on the website. So here is a menu, and this menu can link to anything, different pieces of content, things like that. And the menus are real fluid in WordPress. If I come to the home page here, what I have is a page. Now this page is actually managed underneath pages, and here it is under home. I'm going to show you the different editors now and give you some feedback on them. So we're going to start from the simplest to the most complex. So starting, I'm just going to create a new page, and we're going to call it test page. Test page. Okay. Now in this page, I'm going to choose text as my editor for now. This is the simplest one. It has the least amount of options. However, it doesn't allow you to type HTML into it. So if I just type in, let me grab some more, some placeholder text here. We'll grab a couple paragraphs, paste that in. Now, if I were to just look at this page now, I'm just going to preview it with its content. And I can see here, I have some paragraphs. Super simple, not a lot to it. I can type in here, and that's about the extent of what I can do. I do have some options here for creating different things. Like if I wanted this to be bold, I could highlight it and click this bold button, and it wraps it in HTML strong tags. Now if I preview that, I can see here I actually have some bold text right here. Now this is the most simplistic editor we have at our disposal. Even though it uses HTML, there's not a whole lot of options. Most people are going to want to use the visual editor though. And this looks more like your word processing pieces, where I can come in here, highlight this, and make it bold. I can italicize this. Maybe I need to strike through here. Maybe I need to make a list. And I can highlight all that and put it into unordered, an unordered list or an ordered list. I can even create block quotes. Post some more content here. Put it into a block quote. Now, if I preview this, it should look vastly different. Yep, that's way different. And obviously, this one also allows me to put in media. I can add media from my library or upload files as I need to, but all of that will be covered in a different video about uploading media and everything. I will say that media inserts wherever my insertion point is. So if I wanted a picture here, I could go to Add Media, click on my image, and insert it into the post. There it is. And then I can even flow the text around it. Now if I preview that, I should have an image on the page. Now, we have another editor at our disposal, and we'll spend the rest of the time talking about it. But before I switch to it, I wanted to give you a fair amount of warning. Cornerstone is an advanced editor. And it offers a lot of power and layout options. However, if you switch to Cornerstone, anything that you put into the visual editor will be lost. So you need to really make the decision on which page you're going to use Cornerstone, which page you're going to use the visual one. One of the things that you need to consider about Cornerstone is that if I'm using text and I've saved and published this page, and then I decide to switch to Cornerstone, I'll actually see a dialog telling me that I'm going to lose everything that I've done. The text and visual work together. However, if you switch to Cornerstone after having published or saved a draft using those two, you should receive this message right here. So because I'm doing training, I'm going to say yes. Maybe I want to go ahead and copy the content that I've had before so that I can, save it and do, and then open up Cornerstone. But once you switch to Cornerstone, you're either going to be using it or you're going to stick with text or visual. So I'll go ahead and click Yes, Proceed. And now I'm going to click Edit with Cornerstone. Whenever I come to Cornerstone, what I get is a visual editor of my website. Now this space right here is where my content is going to start falling in. So the first thing you need to do is create sections and rows and layouts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a 3-column row with 3 pictures. I'm going to put some text, and I'm going to show you some of the different pieces of Cornerstone that you can use to do some neat stuff. So I'm going to click Add Section. Whenever I click on the section, I get a row. Now I can add as many rows as I need to into the section, and I can tell the rows to have different columns. So in this case, because I'm going to do 3, I'm going to go ahead and do 3 columns here. I'm going to do 1 here, and here I'm going to go ahead and do 2. Okay. So this is my basic layout. Now I need to just start filling it in by using these elements. So I need 3 images. Image. Oh, there it is. So then I'm just going to click this and drag it over here into the space. Now I'm going to select an image for it to populate with. I'm just going to use one of our stock images here. And so I'm just going to grab that. Select Insert into Post. Going to give it some stock, or give it some alt text. And click Save. Okay. Now, see, there it goes, it's saved. So now I'm just going to click on this. I want 3 images, so I'm going to click on this and just click Duplicate. So now I have 3. I'm going to drag this one here and this one here. And now I just need to choose new images for each one of these. All right, let me just switch this one out for one that's the same size. Perfect. Now I have my 3 images at the top, and now I want to put some text here. So I'm going to use a cool heading. Let's see here, heading, custom heading right here. Drop that in. I'm going to tell it to look like an H1, but actually, oh wait, I'm going to be an H3, but look like an H1. I'm going to align it center, and I'm going to put, see, I'm going to turn on the accent. Okay, there you go. So we'll just go ahead and save this. So I'm just going to kind of move through this system while I'm building stuff. And so now I just need some more text here. Text. There we go. Drop some text right here. I'm going to grab some or remove some. Now I have over here visual, right, and a visual and a text editor. So I'm going to throw this out here, so I have a big space to work within. I'm going to click Visual, because I want to be able to format it. I'm just going to paste in my text, break it up into paragraphs. Okay, and I'm going to make this first bit right here bold. There we go. So I can throw that back in here now, and go ahead and see that it showed up here on the editor. Now I've just got 2 more spaces that I need to fill. So I'm going to come over here and pretend like maybe I want a button. Here we go. We'll put a button in here. Click Me. I'm going to choose a size. Let's see here. Jumbo. A jumbo button. Yeah. And that's looking real good. I'm going to set it to block so it kind of covers the whole thing. And I want it to have an icon. I'm going to give it this here deal here. And then I can come up here and paste in a URL. I'm just going to make this a home link. Okay. And then over here, I'm going to use one of the neater elements in Cornerstone. Now there are a lot of elements, and I strongly advise you to play around with them, try the different pieces. I'm not going to cover all of them in this video. I am going to show you one of the more advanced ones though, and we're going to cover testimonials or a slider. Okay, so I want to have like a slider of testimonials here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. I'm going to put in some lorem ipsum. I'm just going to put a little bit. Okay, so there's one of my testimonials. And here's another. Okay, and I'm going to add in a few more. There we go. Now you see here we've got some buttons in the way and everything, so I just need to adjust some of this so that it looks a little nicer. So I'm going to have my animation be fade. I'm going to have my animation speed be 1 second. I'm going to turn on the slideshow. I'm going to have my duration for each slide be 5 seconds, 5,000 milliseconds. I am going to have it pause on hover. I'm going to turn off previous and next options. And I want it to have no container, just like that. Okay, it's all looking real good. All right. So I'm just going to save this page right now while I'm working on it. Excellent. So you can see here with Cornerstone, I've laid out a really nice page. Now let's pretend like I have some things I want to change. Let's pretend like I want this custom title to be in a different space. So I'm actually going to come back over here, layout, my first section, right? And I'm going to add a new row. In this case, I'm just going to drag this row up to the top, making it row 1. And now I'm going to drag this custom header up there. Yeah, I like the way that looks better. So from here, I'm just going to save. And we're going to view our page. So I click the home. Oh, wait, before I do that, I want to show you some of the options, some other things here. You can click this button here, and it will give you kind of what the whole page looks like. Bringing it back out by clicking here again. This will let you see kind of like a graphical representation of the different elements that you're working within, with a little kind of header down here, so you can still see it. This is maybe kind of help you work out the layout and things like that. You can also switch to different mobile views. Maybe I want to see what it looks like on a phablet. Maybe I want to see what it looks like on a phone or a tablet. Now, I want to go ahead and save, and then I want to switch out of this. I want to show you some more options whenever editing pages and posts. Just going to view the page. Now, even though I've edited this page with Cornerstone now, and it's set to a Cornerstone, if I were to switch back to visual, I would lose my content. But I can still come here and edit the page, not edit the page with Cornerstone, but just edit the page. And say I don't want this sidebar on this particular website, or on this particular page. So I have templates over here. So I can come over and choose a template without a sidebar. So I'm actually going to choose, layout full width. Let's see if that looks good. I'm just going to preview that. Yeah, I like this better because now I can see the accents on my my heading. So I'm going to go ahead and run with that one, and I'm just going to publish that. There you go. Now, as I kind of move through this page here, I want you to see that there are some additional options that can be used for doing some more advanced things. And if we ever have need of these on a website, we'll instruct you individually on what they might be used for. Most of these are for like adding CSS body classes and things like that, so that we can do a custom styling and things like that. But that's kind of an overview of the different editors, including Cornerstone. Just for now, I'm just going to jump back into Cornerstone and kind of talk about the different elements. I'm not going to show you each one. So I'm coming over here to elements, and I'll show you. Now you can build out accordion and alerts, and each one of these have a different and unique look per site. Call out a card that flips. This one's actually really neat. Let me just drag one out here so you can kind of see it. So here it is, but whenever I hover over it, it flips. That's kind of a neat element. You can have like columns like a newspaper. So if I were to grab some more of some here. If I were to grab some more of some and come over here and paste that in, you can actually see that it kind of breaks it up into 2 columns for me. What are some of the other ones that are going to be really helpful for you? You can have counters, custom headlines. I showed you that one. You can put in embed video like YouTube videos. Google Maps will be really useful for you, but you'll need to know how to get longitude and latitude from from Google Maps, and we can show you how to do that if you ever have need of it. Pricing tables if you're going to be using prices. You can put in a revolution slider if you have it installed. And searches. I showed you the slider. There's even one here for protecting. So like maybe this is a piece of content that is restricted to being logged in. So you only see it if you're logged in. So there's a lot of possibilities with Cornerstone. The last thing I want to show you is why we have sections and rows and things like that. Why not just one section and a bunch of rows? So section, right, can actually be used in this way, where you can come to the section. I can switch to manage the section. I can actually change the background color of the section. Let's say I want this section to be red. Obviously, that's not readable, but that is something that you can do. Let's make it a little bit darker. Let's make it like gray, something we can actually still see. Right, and then I can even come to each additional row and give it a background color or image or whatever makes sense to give it. I'm just going to give it a background color right now. Let's see here. All right. Okay. Oh, that's black. Let's go up here. Oh, it's an ugly mustard yellow. And then I can give it some margin. But this is the most interesting part. You can even give it padding. So I'm just going to give it 10 pixels of padding. There you go. And there's lots and lots of options in here. I strongly, strongly advise you to go ahead, play around with it, see what you can do. Ask questions if you need help. I'll be glad to help you. I hope this has been helpful. This has been Cornerstone and editor like Cornerstone, the different editors within WordPress. Let us know if you have any other questions. This has been Aaron Blakely with Absolute Technology Solutions.